Yes, that's right. I'm doing a sequel. And just like last time, I did it to save time and lost it instead. How fun! But it is truly the sequel to a game that I thought I didn't want to make a sequel video about at all. I'm not happy. I'm especially not happy because I lost so much time. I'm not going to complain here though, don't worry. Instead, let's talk about the gameplay of Red, Yellow, Blue, or RYB. Because the gameplay of RYB is surprisingly fun. The puzzles are actually very well made, the mechanics make very good sense, and to be fair to the creator, it being their first published game, being free and having no major problems, it's pretty good as, well, like I said, a first time game maker from what I can tell. I haven't found any of their other projects anywhere after all. Pretty good job. Onto the art style. The art style of this game is very nice. The colors make pretty good sense. Obviously, I understand basic color mixing, so, there's that. But, to be absolutely certain, it makes sense. The puzzles make sense. It all ties together well as long as you're not colorblind, now that I think about it, but hopefully that doesn't come up to anyone who buys a game called Red, Yellow, Blue and assumes that they would be able to play it if they're red, yellow, or blue, yellow colorblind. Something similar, at least. And on to the sound design, I think the game sounds pretty good. It is a surprisingly relaxing game with a soundtrack that isn't bad. There isn't much music to be had, to be fair, but the sound effects for the game work very well, and it does make you feel somewhat accomplished or frustrated if you get it right or wrong. Now on to the length of this game. The length of this game is pretty good. It's actually very long compared to the last game that I covered by this creator, despite the fact that it technically came before. There are many, many, many puzzles, and as you'll see with the gameplay in the background at the end of this video, I don't even actually finish the game. Although I do consider it mostly done. I have actually beaten the game before. I didn't want to specifically reveal anything. After all, I'd love for you, my local listener, to play this random, obscure, but free puzzle game. And now on to the price. It's free. There's nothing to really be said about the price. I just wanted to make sure that it is stated within this podcast in case I cut it out somewhere else, that this game is free and good. Pretty good game. The similarities between RYB and 20 Small Mazes is apparent. The art style makes enough sense, and the puzzle design, although not as gimmicky and not intentionally meant to be gimmicky in this game, of course, but not as gimmicky, you can still feel the essence of the game creator. I feel like it works well enough. And I feel like if you told someone that they were made by the same person, they would heavily agree with you without even checking. Moving on to the differences, I mean, they're completely different kinds of puzzles, obviously. It's much, much harder. Like, this one is so much harder compared to 20 Small Mazes. I ranted in my last podcast pretty heavily about one specific puzzle, and I can be pretty mad at this, but there was no specific puzzle in this game that I actually had any major struggle with, and I definitely feel like this is a fairly long, difficult enough but not bad game if you want to try it. The gameplay is fun, the difficulty is not hard. Yippee! And now, my local listener, I have to sadly say goodbye, because I do not have too much time to make this recording and am technically already late on this project. But I don't blame myself because, the major problems while producing this, blah 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 blah. I promise my next video will be undoubtedly much better. Although I may not be the one making it. Anyway, bye!